Hey y'all, you got Doug Gore, Dougie Do here with Cajun Soft Wash, and today we're going to talk about your logo. Are you using it correctly? Or is your logo too big, too small? Using it for advertising, marketing, that sort of thing. Are you using your logo correctly? I can tell you right now, I just came back from a really large convention, the World of Concrete Show 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada, and walking around, that was one of the things that I noticed almost right off the bat, right away. Walking around, there's lots of giveaways and sign up for to win this free whatchamacallit, whatever it is, right? So the focal point for a lot of people is meant to being this sign up here, which is great because it allows the vendor there to capture your name, your phone number, your address, your email address, that sort of thing. And that's the purpose of that giveaway in most instances. However, most of the vendors there, as I walked around, I couldn't figure out what they did. They had great big logos, okay? And let me back up and say this. Most of the vendors that were there in that particular show was not about purchasing. Okay, so there weren't really any stores there where you could actually buy something, have it tangibly in your hands, and walk out the door. Okay, most of the things there were about showcasing their products. They weren't actually selling their products at that particular show. They were more showcasing the products that they have, which is a little bit different. But nonetheless, most of them had these great big logos. And so as you're walking around, you can see the logos and you can see the, hey, win this thing and all that. But you had no idea what they did until you went into their booth, which, is part of the point. But my point being that as you're walking around, do you know what it is that that company does, right? It's not only just in the conventions and that sort of thing. I see this all the time on people's trucks. They spend a lot of money and they wrap their trucks, or they get magnets put on their truck, or whatever it is. And they'll put this magnet on their truck, and the vast majority of that magnet is their logo. I'm so proud of this logo. Love my logo. That's an ego trip you're on. It really is, okay? My logo, I love my logo, by the way. I love it. But it's an ego trip. It really is. This logo isn't known enough. Now, this logo is pretty well known in my area, and so if you showed it in my area, 1 out of every 500 people is going to know exactly what it is. I think that's a pretty good number when you really sit down and look at it. So the reality is, if I were to do, I can't do the Nike logo. If I can't, I'm not a very good artist. I used to be, but I'm not anymore. But if I did a logo and I did this, I don't know if you all can see that. Who am I talking about? McDonald's, the big M, the big arches, right? You know what it is, right? Probably 99 out of 100 people are going to know exactly what the McDonald's logo is, okay? The Nike logo, same thing, right? The Cajun Soft Wash logo, not so much. Your logo, probably not so much, right? We want to think that our logo is really important, and it is. We need to build brand awareness, and that's important for the longevity of our company. But the reality is, when you're trying to drive like down the road, or you're at a trade show, a small trade show, convention, if you would, home and garden type show, you're trying to let people know what it is you do, okay? So it's more important to have what you do on there, okay? So if your company is a pressure washing company, pressure washing should be in larger letters. If your company does photography, photography should be written bigger. Drones, do you do drone photography? Then drone photography should be up there big and bold, and not your logo, okay? Unless your logo is really good, and I admit I have seen some pressure washing logos out there that are really good. They get the message across really quickly, and you know by looking at that person's logo, boom, they do pressure washing. Okay, so that's not really the norm though. Most logos, if you sit and look at them, they don't really, they don't get out what it is that they do, okay? The next time you're driving down the road, start looking at different trucks that are out there. Look at their logo, look at what is on their truck, and try to determine, like that, if you know what it is that they do. If you're going to go and do something with your truck, later on wrap your truck or do something marketing wise, take notice of what you notice, okay? You're going to notice things that pertain to you more than things that don't. And the logos don't typically pertain to you. You might say, oh, that's a cute logo. I have no idea what that guy does. You know, he's got a cute little crab looking thing. It's actually half crab, half crawfish, but it's just the way it is. Anyhow, so I see this can right here, Coca-Cola. I mean, same thing. Most people are going to know exactly that logo, right? I already know that there's a soda in there. Matter of fact, I even know the flavor of it because it's in the red can. If there were a black can or a blue can or something, I would know what is in that product. Okay, so their logo is different than yours and mine. Don't focus so much on your logo. I encourage y'all, if you know who Ray Burke is, Spray Wash Exterior Cleaning, I encourage you to look up, I believe their website is spray-wash.com, spray-wash.com. I think maybe Ray just recently bought Spray Wash, but anyhow, look at the pictures of his trucks, okay? I really like it because, I mean, I like our trucks, but I really like it because it says power washing, soft washing. Big, big letters. I know exactly what his truck, when I see his truck, I know exactly what his company does. His logo, real small. Okay, it's up in kind of in the corner, right? That is doing it the right way. So if you're going to be putting your logo on your truck and on your business cards and you know all that kind of stuff, as an example, this card is done wrong for the purpose of what a card normally is for. I mean, you look at it, you can tell, I mean, you can kind of see, okay, the guy's up on top of a roof and it looks like he's washing the roof. I mean, I kind of get my point across, but the only reason I think I get away with it is because very quick I go no pressure washing. I think that's backwards there on the screen. But so the front of my card really doesn't get across what I do in the blink of an eye, where this no pressure washing at least intrigues the interest. And then it goes off and it says soft wash, roof cleaning, and house washing. So I think I can get it across very quickly with my card, not necessarily because of the front, more because of the back. Again, I'm not saying that I get the greatest card, but get your point across, make your logo smaller, not like this, mine's big, right? Again, this is probably an ego thing when I did it, right? But I also did it correctly on the back, so I made up for it, I think. Anyhow, your logo is super important. It's important to build the brand, and it's important to build awareness, and it's important to, as you're growing and your business is getting out there and people are seeing you more and more, it's important that your logo is out there more and more. And once you become established, once people know who you are and your business is coming in, then you start working more on your logo than you do on the what it is that you do. Like I said, I kind of feel like, and I just made the number up, 1 out of 500 people in this area are going to know exactly what my logo is. They're going to know what the company is, okay? That's because we're established in the marketplace. If we weren't, this wouldn't the logo wouldn't mean anything. So I need to focus now more on building brand awareness, okay, so that more than 1 out of 500 people will notice it. Again, I just made that number up, so it doesn't mean anything. But I want as many people to recognize my logo as possible. However, when I'm starting out, the first probably 10 years in business, to be honest with you, your focus should be more on getting your point across to whoever it is. Not only that, but unless you can say that you're a Coca-Cola or you're a Nike or something like that, where virtually everybody knows what your logo is, then, I mean, you still need to be trying to grow. As your truck's going down the road, people see it, they're not going to call you because they don't know what it is that you do unless you get that point across to them. Now, there are exceptions to that because in business, sometimes we get to a point where we don't want that much or that kind of business or whatever. You're in a very niche market, and you're trying to focus on you or just this one thing that you do, and you're not interested in growing and having multiple employees or multiple trucks or whatever. That's different, okay? Then the pride of your logo becomes a little bit more important, in my opinion. So I think I'm getting on too much of a long-winded rant here. Keep your logo smaller. Keep your services larger. Keep your phone number even larger. In today's day and age, people are doing this. They're clipping. They're taking pictures of your truck. I get that all the time. Make sure that your phone number, again, really readable, really something that's out there, and what it is that you do is more important than your logo. Your logo is more likely than not nothing more than an ego trip. Sorry. Anyhow, I appreciate y'all for listening to me. Dougie Doo out.